Yes, boys and girls, we are so back. The Euros are upon us. We're less than a week away from England's first game. The tournament kicks off on Friday, Germany against Scotland, and I can't wait. And in this video, we are going to predict the whole bloody thing. We're going to go through the group stages, through the knockouts, and I'm going to tell you who I think my Euro 2024 winner is going to be. Yes, this England shirt is a little bit too tight. Yes, I put on a bit of weight in the last 4 years when I bought it, all right? But it doesn't matter. We don't care. We are back. We are so back. England might have lost to Iceland on Friday, but everything's going to be fine. France drew 0-0 to Canada over the weekend. Can England win the whole thing? I'm going to tell you in this video. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video for more Euros content that's going to come all throughout the summer. Lots of England stuff, lots of other bits as well, lots of Tottenham stuff as well if you are a Spurs fan. If you're not, stick around. Make sure you subscribe as well. But we're going to get straight into this. So how this works... We've got this predictor on the Telegraph, and I've just got to basically order the groups. I've got to tell you who I think is going to finish top of the group, second, third, and fourth for all of the groups, and then we'll get into the knockouts. Obviously, we've got the third place ranking as well. I'm not going to pay too much attention to this in terms of who I think will be first or who I think will be the top ranked third team and all that, because it just gets quite complicated. But I'm just going to tell you who I think out of 4 out of the 6 groups who will finish third, who I think has got the best chance of going through. Let's go with Group A then. Germany, a home team, has not won the Euros, I believe, since 1984, and that was France. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on Germany, really. They've had a little bit of a tumultuous time coming into this tournament. There's always been a cloud over Germany over the last few years. They've kind of flattered to deceive. Our major tournaments, obviously, England knocked them out of the last Euros at the quarter-final stage. Underwhelming performances in recent World Cups as well. But this just feels fresh. This feels an exciting Germany side when you've got Musiala, you've got Florian Wirtz kind of playing as those two tens. I think it's very hard to look against them to top the group. Scotland and Hungary. Now, Hungary have had a really good qualifying campaign, and I think they could sneak through second. But I've got a decent feeling about Scotland. I think Scotland will make that first game quite tough for Germany. I think Germany will probably win. But I think Scotland against Switzerland and Hungary, I think they've got a good chance of going through. I really think they have. But I just think Hungary, with some of the quality they've got, players like Szoboszlai, like I said, they've been on fire in qualifying. They've been really impressive. I think I'm going to go... I think it's really hard to split between Hungary and Scotland. I think Switzerland will finish bottom. I'm going to go Hungary second, and then I'm going to go Scotland to squeak through as that third place side. Group B, then. This is a really tough one, because Spain, I'm looking at their forward options, and I'm thinking that's a little bit underwhelming. Other than the likes of Yamin Lamau, Nico Williams as well, they've got some exciting young talent out wide. But through the middle, I feel like ever since Euro 2012, they've kind of been lacking. When Fernando Torres was on fire when they won the tournament, they haven't really had that number 9 that they can hang their hat on in terms of someone who's going to score goals regularly. Jose Perez was in the Spain team in their last warm-up game, I believe. Made his debut at the age of 30. They've got Morata in the squad, Joselu as well. But I think they'll go through, and I think they'll go through top of the group as well, because I think they look pretty solid everywhere else. Now, this is a close one between Italy and Croatia, because I think Italy are coming into this tournament quite cold and quite uninspiring. I feel like we haven't seen that Italy star-studded team. Obviously, they're the holders, but I just don't feel great about them. There's always usually this curse as well with holders coming in to the tournament and going out early. We've seen that in World Cups, we've seen that in Euros of late, and I think we might see it again. I think Croatia will finish second in this group. I think they've got the experience, I think they've still got a lot of quality in that squad. Luka Modric still dictating games at this age, and I think they've got tournament nous, and I think that's going to be really, really key. Last couple of World Cups been really impressive, getting to the semi-finals in both of them. Euros, decent performances as well. They've always turned up on the big stage. And I think Italy will finish third, and Albania, unfortunately for them, fourth. Now, Group C, the big one, England. I get it, England fans. We're not feeling great, are we, off the back of Friday's result against Iceland? But I just don't think you can take the result of these pre-tournament friendlies into consideration too much. Yes, there was a lot to kind of analyse in terms of the performance of it. I'm going to do a video that's going to come out tomorrow in terms of how I'd set up for that first game against Serbia. And there would be changes that I would probably make to what we saw on Friday. But again, that wasn't our first choice team. We've got injuries. Kieran Trippier at left back, I think, is a bit of a problem. We need Luke Shaw back. He's not going back until that second game against Denmark, which I think is going to be really key in terms of who tops this group. I think Denmark, again, we beat them in the semi-finals of the last Euros. They always turn up in these tournaments. They've always got that bit about them. They've got a steal always in midfield that I like. They've got Højbjerg, they've got Hjulmand as well. They've got Rasmus Højlund up front. They've got that firepower. Eriksson as well, that tournament experience, which I think is going to be vital for them. But Serbia will be tough. That first game will be tough. Vlahovic, Milinkovic, Savic. They've got good quality. But I think England have to top the group, and I think they will. And I think we'll see England get to the tournament. I think we'll see Bellingham back, who obviously didn't play in that first game. Again, that last warm-up game, against Iceland. He'll be back in there. I think Bellingham is the key to this England side. I think he helps Phil Foden. I think he gets closer to Harry Kane. He can go beyond Harry Kane as well when Kane drops deep. We really don't have that natural replacement in that number 10 position for Bellingham. And I think he's going to explode again at this Euros on the international stage. Obviously, he's exploded at Real Madrid, had an amazing season up until this point. Coming for a lot of stick recently, which I just still can't get my head around. But I think Bellingham will be massively key for England at this tournament. I think he's going to come into it with a real point to prove. And I think he's going to guide England to top of the group. And I think Denmark, it's very close between Denmark and Serbia. But I think Denmark will probably just pip them, and I'll go Serbia third. Slovenia got some exciting talent, but I just think they'll finish bottom of that group. This group is very interesting, Group D. Netherlands, Austria, under Ralf Rangnick, who has been pretty impressive since he's gone there. Gotten playing some good football, very, very organised, very structured. Poland, I don't feel great about, if I'm being honest. Netherlands are an interesting one because, again, a little bit like Italy, I think their squad feels a little bit disjointed. But when you look at the defensive stability that they have got, you'd imagine they could go quite far in this. It's just that lack of firepower that I worry about a little bit with Holland, which France do not lack. And I think France will come top of the group. That France-Netherlands game, I think, might be the first game in this group. I might be wrong, but that's going to be very interesting. I think Netherlands will come second. I think Austria third. And I think Austria might go through as one of these third-place sides because I think they could get a result against one of these two sides, whether it's a draw. Again, France in the last Euros, pretty underwhelming. Went out in the round of 16 against Switzerland. But you can't bet against France. Group E, Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine. Belgium, again, they kind of always flatter to deceive a bit at these major tournaments. But they've not lost a game since the World Cup. I thought they looked pretty good when they played England in one of those games back in March. I think in midfield three of Tielemans, Onana and De Bruyne feels quite well balanced. But De Bruyne is coming into this tournament a little bit cold, I think, as well. But I think Belgium will top this group. I think they will top this group. Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine. This should be a walk in the park, you feel, for Belgium. And purely based on gut, I think Ukraine, again, good young talent at their disposal. I think you probably have to put them second. I'll probably go Slovakia third and Romania fourth. Sorry, Dragusin. Then finally, Group F. Portugal have to win this group at a canter. Georgia, tournament debutants. Of course, it would be amazing for them to get a result in this tournament. We'll see if that kind of materialises. Czech Republic, I'm going to go second. Turkey, not dark horses for me this year. And Georgia, fourth. And let's get on to these third-place teams because I think I would not bet against Scotland going through. Again, like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about the order of this. I'm just going to kind of put the four teams that I think are going to go through, and I'm going to go with Scotland. I think Italy will make it through because I think they will get a result in that group. I just don't see them finishing top two. I think it'll be Spain and Croatia. And I'm going to go with Austria and Serbia, which sets up some very tasty round of 16 ties. Germany against Denmark, Hungary against Croatia, Spain against Scotland, England against Austria, Portugal, Serbia, Netherlands, Ukraine, Belgium, Italy. Again, I think that was the quarterfinal in the last Euros, and France against the Czech Republic. So Germany against Denmark, I think you can't look past Germany in that one. Hungary-Croatia is a very interesting one because, like I said, Hungary have had a really good qualifying stage. You would not bet against them getting to the quarterfinals. I think they could be a little decent shout to make it through to the quarters. I just think Croatia, again, like I said, it's with that tournament now, so I don't think it'll take them all the way to the semis maybe this time. But they'd edge past Hungary. Spain, Scotland, unfortunately. I mean, Scotland, I don't think... Have they ever made it out of the group in an international tournament? To even get this far would be great for them, and I think they'd see getting out of the group as a success, but I think Spain will probably have too much. England against Austria, tricky matchup for England. But I think, again, you've got to go with England. Because I think we're going to go the way, do we? Portugal, Serbia. I think Portugal... This might sound crazy to say, but I think people are sleeping on Portugal a little bit. Roberto Martinez isn't the most inspiring choice of manager, but they were on fire in qualifying. Bruno Fernandes, I think, is going to have a really good tournament. When you've got Ronaldo leading the line, you can't kind of look past that. Yes, he's playing in the Saudi League now, but he's still going to be really important for them. They've got so much young talent. João Neves, Vitinha, great midfield options, Bernardo Silva as well. I think Portugal could go a long way, and I think they'll beat Serbia. I think Netherlands will beat Ukraine. This is interesting. Belgium, Italy. I think this is where it ends for Italy. I think Belgium will go past them. I think France will beat the Czech Republic, which sets up some really nice quarter-final ties. Germany, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, France, England, Croatia. Which would mean that England would play the winner of France against Belgium. And you're looking at this semi-final side here. Germany, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands is a really tasty matchup. I think you've got to... Germany on home soil. Like I said, I don't think there's been a home soil winner since 1984. But I think Germany, just in terms of the firepower, will have too much for Spain. Even though Spain is so well organised, I think Germany pip them and I think they go through to the semis. I think Portugal beat Netherlands. I think France beat Belgium. I think Belgium just don't have enough to get this far to the semis. And I think France, again, it's really hard to bet against them. England, Croatia. World Cup semi-final 2018, repeat. I can't do it again. I can't go through it again. But I think this time we have too much. I think this is where... I think England get through the group fairly comfortably. I think we beat Austria in that game. And I think this is really where you see some of these big players step up. Like I said, I think Bellingham has been so important for England. I think you're going to have a Luke Shaw that's more sharp now as well, which I think allows Phil Foden to drift in more off that left-hand side. I think it's going to be a bit of a problem early in the group when you're probably most likely to be playing Trippier over there or maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think England will peak. England are going to start peaking around the right time with players coming back. And Austria is a fairly favourable matchup in the round of 16. And Croatia, again, they'll be really tough to beat. But I think we do it. And that sets up one of the best sets of semi-finals I think we've seen in tournaments recently. You go back to the last Euros, it was England against Denmark. There was so much narrative around that. Denmark were kind of everybody's second favourite team after what they went through. Amazing to be there. Everyone kind of loves that dark horse. The other semi-final was Spain against Italy. A lot of bigger teams knocked out earlier on, with Germany and France both going out in the round of 16. Again, you think back to the last World Cup, we haven't really seen this quality of matchup in a semi-final or in a pair of semi-finals for a long time at these tournaments. Yes, it never pans out like this, and it probably won't. It probably won't pan out like this, but they are incredibly tasty ties. Germany, Portugal. I think it's really hard. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Portugal. I really do. I think they kind of flatter to deceive at tournaments a little bit. Again, it's hard to look past Germany on home soil, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a shock here. I really wouldn't. But then again, it's so hard to bet against Germany. I really think this is 6 of one, half a dozen the other. And based on my gut, I think Portugal can knock Germany out. I do. I've got this feeling about Portugal this year. I think Bruno Fernandes is really going to turn up in this tournament. I think they're solid at the back. They've been playing good football, lots of different formations, so versatile, that squad. And I think they do it. I think they get to the final. England against France. England against France. A repeat of the World Cup in 2022. But in the semi-finals this time, lads, no explanation, fuck it. We're doing it. I've really got this feeling about England this year. And I know there's not a great feeling going into the tournament, with that Iceland game especially. That's going to leave a sour taste in the mouth of a lot of England fans. But I just don't think this France team... It's crazy to say, because they've got so much talent, so much young talent as well, like so Bradley Barcola kind of on the emergence as well, on the come-up. Kylian Mbappe was only 25 years old. How much tournament experience has he got already? And I think it'd be hard to look past him for player of the tournament and top goal scorer. But I think there's something different about England this year. I think it'll be the last tournament under Southgate. I think they'll want to do it for him. I think you've got big players who have gone very far with their clubs. And like I said, I think Bellingham could be one of those players that drag England this far. Look what he's done for Madrid this year. I just think we could beat France. I do. I think they're beatable. I think there's kind of a chink in their armour a little bit. I do. It's unexplainable. But I just think there is. I really think there is. And that sets up a hell of a final. England against Portugal. England's first ever Euros. I think if we get to the final this time, again, I don't think we make the same mistakes. I think that squad was inexperienced. I think they froze a little bit in that Italy final. We went 1-0 up so early on. Yes, Southgate's tactics cost us a little bit. Taking off Declan Rice cost us a little bit. Being too conservative. When you think of the attacking options that we've got now compared to 2021, we were in a much better shape squad-wise. And again, like I said, peaking at the right time in these tournaments with players coming back. Maguire is going to be a big miss if we get this far because of his experience. But you've got Johnny Stones there. You've got Pickford at the back. You've got Walker. You've got Rice in midfield. You've got Bellingham. You've got the bravery and the lack of fear in some of the youngsters like Wharton and Mainu. And for that reason, I think we're doing it, lads. 22% of people have predicted England to win. 24% of people have predicted France to win. And 14% of people predicted Germany to win. If you're in that 22% like me, let me know in the comments. Will England win it? Who knows? I think we've got as good a chance of any. And we're the bookies' favourite for a reason. We're the bookies' favourite for a reason. And I think with this squad, yes, there's some defensive issues and frailties. But honestly, this year, I think we can do it. And I've got this feeling that we're going to do it. I put on my England shirt that's too tight. It's too small. Might not be wearing it to the games. But I put it on in this video because I believe. And I think we're going to go all the way. Let me know if you enjoyed the video in the comments. Let me know your predictions. Let me know if you think England are going to win. Let me know your top scorer as well. I want to hear young player of the tournament. I want to hear your player of the tournament. I want to hear your flops. I want to hear your dark horses, your surprise packages, all that good stuff. But most importantly, I want you to subscribe to the channel for more regular Euros content. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far. We're over 300 subscribers on the channel after launching last week. Thank you to everyone who's shown love on the videos. Come on, England. This year, we're going to do it. You got to believe. You got to look at that. You got to look at that 22% and you got to believe. Come on, England. Peace.